everyone. Welcome to the week 5. Date is 4th May to 8th May 2020. Subject is chemistry, class 8th, and topic which we are going to discuss today is endothermic reactions. Contents of our today's lesson are: we will discuss resources, objectives, recapitulation of previous lesson, brainstorming with the help of an experiment, introduction to the topic, explanation, difference between exothermic and endothermic reaction, examples, then we will have a wrap-up session, and then assignment. Resources for our today's lesson are General Science book grade 8, and then we'll have the web links in which you can see the video and your question answers, your exercise questions, and different worksheets relevant to your topic. Before starting the lesson, let's have a look on the objectives of today's lesson. By the end of this lesson, students would be able to define endothermic reaction, describe the phenomena of heat change in endothermic reactions, explain the process of chemical change in a chemical reaction, differentiate between exothermic and endothermic reaction, attempt your exercise questions, recap of the lesson, and then attempt questions for your assignment. My dear students, let's recap our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we have discussed in detail exothermic reactions, that how chemical change takes place in an exothermic reactions. As the name indicates, that exo means outside and therm means heat. So those reactions in which heat is given out during the formation of any product or during the formation of any chemical reaction, that type of reaction is known as exothermic reaction. We have studied various examples relevant to the topic. Then we studied reactions in daily life which are exothermic actually, and we didn't consider them. Then we just have a look on the importance of exothermic reaction, that why these reactions are important, how the chemical changes takes place in these reactions. So students, before starting the topic, let's brainstorm by the help of this lab fun story, what happens in a lab, that what two students have observed, what their observation was when some chemical was provided to them. Excited but confused, Sam and Julie run to their chemistry teacher. Sam asks, "Teacher, why did my flask turn cold after adding the salt to water while Julie's flask turned hot?" The teacher replies that because you were given two different salts, one of your salts generated an endothermic reaction with water while the other salt generated an exothermic reaction with water. Let me first reveal the identity of your salts. Salt A is ammonium nitrate and salt B is calcium chloride. Now, Sam and Julie are curious about the difference between an endothermic reaction and exothermic reactions, that why the two salts have given different chemical changes, why one flask become cold and the other would become hot. Consider the reaction mixture salt plus water as a system and the flask as a surrounding. In Sam's case, when ammonium nitrate was dissolved in the water, the system absorbed heat from the surrounding and thus the flask felt cold. This is an example of an endothermic reaction which we are going to discuss in detail, which I will explain you further, that why this change takes place and how it happens. In Julie's case, when calcium chloride was dissolved in water, the system released heat into the surroundings, the flask, and then the flask felt hot. This is an example of an exothermic reaction, that how heat is given out of the surrounding, how the heat is produced during the chemical change. With the observation of Sam and Julie, the teacher's final comment to Sam and Julie about this experiment is, when trying to classify a reaction as exothermic or endothermic, watch how the temperature of the surrounding, in this case the flask, changes. An exothermic process release heat. If you are feeling that the flask is becoming hot, it means that it is an exothermic reaction causing the temperature of the immediate surrounding to rise. An endothermic process absorbs heat and cools the surroundings. This is an experiment which you can do further on in your labs, and then you will came to know that how these chemical changes takes place and how you can identify that whether the reaction was exothermic or endothermic by just simply touching the flask whether it is hot or cold. My dear students, as I have explained you with the brainstorming lab fun activity, that in that case you have observed that when the surrounding temperature changes, you came to know that the reaction which you were performing, whether it was an exothermic or endothermic, and how you can simply identify by touching the flask. Simply you can observe whether it becoming hot or it is becoming cold by just simply a physical test. You can identify that your reaction was exothermic or endothermic. So you came with the word that endo means inside. Endothermic reactions are vice versa or opposite of exothermic reactions. We have studied that exothermic reactions are those reactions in which heat is given out in the surroundings, but in endothermic reactions the heat is absorbed by the container, by the flask, from the surroundings. So the endothermic process is a term that describes a reaction where the system absorbs the energy from its surrounding in the form of heat. Few example of exothermic process is photosynthesis, evaporating liquid, melting of ice, dry ice, thermal decomposition, ammonium chloride in water, and much more. You can just think of that, how melting of ice. Simply when you take out ice from the freezer, it absorbs the temperature from the surrounding and it starts melting. That change shows that it is absorbing heat from the surrounding, and the state of ice is changing into the liquid. This is the best example you can see simply at your home, that this is an endothermic reaction, that how heat is absorbed by the ice from its surrounding and how the change in that ice takes place, how it converted into water. My dear students, just look at that simple diagram. Two flasks have been shown to you just to differentiate between exothermic and endothermic reactions. You can see in the first case, exothermic reaction, it is evolving heat, it is giving out heat to the surroundings. So you can see that when the heat is given out, these are the exothermic reactions, and in another flask they are showing you endothermic reactions, that how the flask is absorbing heat from the surrounding and it is becoming cooler than the surrounding. So this change is showing you exothermic and endothermic reaction simply. My dear students, just summarize the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. Basically, this is a very simple topic. Just you need to memorize them. Most of the time, you get confused in exo and endo, and you write it in opposite columns. So, whenever you are preparing it, whenever you are learning it, please have focus on the meaning of the words exo and endo. Do not get confused in them. For your ease, I have just differentiate them in simple lines, so you can see the difference and you can memorize them easily. Exothermic, the word describes a process that releases energy in the form of heat. Forming a chemical bond release energy and therefore is an exothermic process. Exothermic reactions usually feel hot because it is giving heat to you. And simply, endothermic reaction is a process of a reaction that absorbs energy in the form of heat. It means it is absorbing energy. Breaking a chemical bond requires energy and therefore is endothermic. Endothermic reaction usually feel cold because it is taking heat away from you. So you can simply differentiate between exothermic and endothermic reaction by these common points. For example, if a short question comes to you, you have to attempt it into the 3 points to award 3 marks. So if you want to gain your 3 marks, you have to write down the 3 differences, and I have provided you with three differences. You can simply write them and you can score maximum marks. So just see the difference, understand it, and then learn the difference, by which you can easily prepare the topic exothermic and endothermic reactions. Dear students, just look at the examples of endothermic reactions: melting of ice cubes, melting solid salts, evaporating liquid water, converting frost to wet water vapor, melting, boiling, and evaporation in general are endothermic processes. Making an anhydrous salt from a hydrate, splitting a gas molecule, reacting ethanoic acid with sodium carbonate. Photosynthesis: chlorophyll is used to react carbon dioxide plus water plus energy to make glucose and oxygen. In these examples, they have shown you how these metals or these simple substances absorb heat from the surrounding and perform their function, and how they changes into different matter or different states. So in your lab further you will perform endothermic and exothermic reactions, inshallah taala, but now you need to just memorize the examples simply from these many examples which I have provided to you. My dear students, with this we end our today's lesson. Not only today's lesson, we came to end our chapter, which is chemical reaction. We end our chapter today by completing our last topic, that was endothermic reactions. Today I am just summarizing you the whole key points of the chapter so that you can remember the main points that we have discussed in these 5 lessons and how we have completed the chapter, what we have studied in the chapter. So for the summary, I am repeating the key points. I am just reading it out so that you can memorize, so that you can easily understand that what we have studied in today's lesson and in the previous 5 lessons. So the first thing which we have studied, the process during which a substance changes into entirely new substance with different chemical composition and properties is called a chemical reaction. This we have studied in our lesson number 1. So we studied that during chemical reactions, atoms present in different substances are rearranged to form new substances. That was law of conservation of mass as well. Then the substances which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants, and those which are formed as a result of the reaction are called products. How to write a chemical equation? So we need to have a clear concept of reactant and product. The representation of a chemical reaction in terms of symbol, formula and signs used for indicating physical states of the substance is called a chemical equation. This is how you can define a chemical equation. The use of coefficients to balance the number of different types of atoms in a chemical equation is called the balancing of a chemical equation. I hope you people have understand and have a clear concept of balancing, which we have discussed in detail lesson. Then law of conservation of mass states that during a chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. And I have already told you how you have to attempt the question answers related to the topic, how you have to attempt the short question and how you have to attempt the long question. Addition reactions involve the chemical combination of 2 or more substances to form a compound. A chemical reaction which involves the splitting up of one compound into 2 or more simpler substances is called decomposition reaction. We have a detailed lesson on the types of chemical reactions, addition and decomposition reactions. Then we studied that the chemical reaction during which heat is evolved is called exothermic reaction, and the chemical reaction during which heat is absorbed are called endothermic reactions. Heat evolved during exothermal reaction is used to cook food, drive vehicles, generate electricity. We have studied in detail the applications of the chemical reactions, and we have studied the importance of exothermic reactions in our daily life. We came to know that how these reactions are commonly going on in our surroundings, but we don't name them technically. So now you people are able to understand that if any reaction is providing heat, if any reaction is giving out heat, that reaction is exothermic reaction. You came to know that if any reaction is absorbing heat from the surrounding, that is an endothermic reaction. So By the end of the lesson, you people are able to differentiate between addition reaction, decomposition reaction, reactant in a product, exothermic reactions and endothermic reactions. With that, we end our today's chapter and today's lesson as well. Further on, I have provided you with the assignment with exercise questions which you can easily solve if you have go through the videos, if you have go through the lessons properly, and if you have read the book, which I emphasize you to read the book thoroughly, to read the book carefully. You can easily exercise your questions. Okay students, today's assignment 5.7, 5.11 and 5.12. 5.2 is in which you have to just simply write down the short questions which we have already done in the assignments. Then in your question number 5.3, you have to differentiate between exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. In your 5.7 question, you just have to give two examples of the chemical reaction. For example, exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction, addition reaction and decomposition reaction. You just need to write down two examples of each reactions, which is already given in your book. You just need to go through it. Then in your question number 5.11, describe the importance of exothermic reaction in everyday life. It is your complete topic in your book. We have already discussed it. You can just simply go through it from your textbook. And 5.12, to give two examples of chemical reactions from everyday life which are essential for life. It is also provided in your book, which you just need to go through. Then I have provided you with the web links in which you can see the video relevant to the topic endothermic reactions, difference between exothermic and endothermic reaction. You can compare both reactions and then you can solve the assignment. And with that, I have provided you a very important link, that is the link which is your exercise questions. You can easily go through the link. The last link is your curriculum books, and it is your exercise question answer, short questions, long questions, the sample of some short questions. So you can easily go through that link and you can easily solve your exercise questions by taking help from this website, which is a very important website. Please go through it. Thank you so much for your concentration, my dear students. Hope you have understand the chapter. I have tried my level best to make it easier for you so that you can simply understand the basic concept, the very first chapter for you. Thank you so much. Wish you a very good luck.